Welcome back to the Wedding DJ Mentor. I'm Steve D, and today we're going to talk about pricing as a wedding DJ. So this gets a lot of conversation in the DJ groups. Pricing is a bit of a touchy subject for a lot of people. So everybody gets it wrong at the beginning. And honestly, it's pretty easy to understand why. It's because on the surface, it looks really simple to be able to price your services. If you charge more money, you earn more money. It's pretty simple maths, or so people think. Except it's not really that simple. And in this video, we're going to talk about exactly why that is. And we're going to show you exactly the pricing structure that works for various different types of businesses. So if two DJs are out there, both of a similar standard, one's charging $1,000, but they're only converting 5% of their inquiries. Then, so out of 100 inquiries, they're doing 5 bookings and they're earning $5,000. But another DJ charges $750. They're converting 40% of their bookings. So the same 100 inquiries, they're doing 40 weddings. It's $30,000. So DJ A has the bigger quote. He gets more per night, but DJ B has 6 times the income. So you have to kind of decide what you want to be really, and you've got to be converting those leads. So the game isn't about trying to find the highest price that you can charge. It's about finding that sort of sweet spot between where you're converting consistently, but you're also getting the fee that you think you deserve. And then you can build your price from there, just increasing your price every sort of year. I used to do it sort of New Year's Eve. I would jack my price up by 50, 100 pounds, £150, depending on how well I'd done the previous year and how much I wanted to work in the forthcoming year. So it's not just about having the confidence to charge him more, because anybody can do that. Anyone can ramp their prices up to $2,500. But what it's about are these 5 things. So we've got your skill level, got your confidence to communicate. It's how your brand comes across, your perceived value, which we talked about in episode 1. And it's the quality of inquiries that you're pulling in. So it's about who's finding you, where they're finding you. If you're getting found in like Facebook for sale groups, or like maybe paid ads or something like that, you can end up getting a lower quality inquiry. And it also depends on your local market. But the thing with your local market is, yeah, you do hear quite a lot that, oh, you can only charge 180 round here or 250. I used to hear that a lot. But the thing is, you've got a vehicle, just travel a little bit, and then your local market doesn't really matter. So all those 5 needs to be lined up, because even if one of them is a little bit off, then the others don't really make up for it. So like, you can't be charging premium rates if your website looks rubbish, if your links don't work, and they click your phone number in it and the phone number's wrong. Or if you're taking 3 days to reply to their inquiry, you can't be charging good money. If the images on your website are poor, again, you can't be charging good money, because people aren't going to believe that you're worth that. And as soon as you quote them a high price, they're just going to go, oh, I'll get back to you. And then that'll be the last you hear of them. Couples are making a decision before they even speak to you, and everything they see adds up to a feeling of how much you're going to be worth. And your price is just a final expression of that. If you sort of price just a little bit more, sort of 5, 10, 20% more than they were expecting, you're probably still going to close. So it needs to be a little bit of a stretch for them, and then really comfortable for you. That's the kind of perfect price point really for you guys as a professional. So the trap that most people fall into is, there's a lot of advice out there from Facebook, YouTube videos, Facebook groups, basically saying if you charge more, back yourself, you're worth it. And yeah, you can charge more, and but you do need to do the groundwork before it for people to actually pay it. You can charge whatever you want. Doesn't mean people are going to pay it, does it? It's like a sea at Ibiza. They could believe that their sea at Ibizas are worth 100 grand. It's like, well, nobody else does, so it doesn't matter what they charge. But Ferrari have done a lot of work and crafting and making their marketing. Well, they don't even market because they don't need to, because they stand out in a league of their own. And that's where we want to get to, really. We want to get to that sort of pinnacle, really, where you're sought after, and it's not that hard to do, really. So, because what happens if you doubled your price overnight without sorting your brand out, without getting loads of reviews, or without your good communication and your sort of social proof, then you're just going to stop converting any inquiries. The diary goes quiet, and then because you need the work, you're going to start cutting your price back down to try and get that work in, or you're going to be offering deals in January, which I see a lot of DJs do, even quite good ones, going, if you book in January, you get 20% off. It doesn't signal that, it doesn't come across that the way that you want it to come across. It comes across as a bit desperate, and that you are not the market leader that you portray to be. So we don't want to be negotiating from a place of panic. We want to be negotiating from a place of confidence. If I gave somebody a price and I didn't hear back from them, I'm not chasing them. If they don't want me, then that's fine, because I'm confident that the next person that comes along probably will book me, and if not that one, definitely the next one. So don't ever adjust your prices to suit the customer that comes in. Not every customer is your customer. Pricing too high too soon doesn't cost you bookings, it costs you your positioning as a market leader, which is what we're building here. Way better to price it well, convert consistently, stay busy, and then edge it up over time. Confidence comes from the proof, not the other way around. So how to actually raise your prices then? Like I said before, I used to adjust mine every year, but I did the work as well. I was getting more reviews than the previous year. My website was better. My images were better. The videos on my Instagram were better. Everything was building. You've got to work on yourself. You can't just build a website, leave it alone, and then in 10 years, you're still using the same website. You've got to improve. I changed my website I had a complete rebuild 3 times over 10 years. So my website, from the first one, which I built myself on WordPress, was a bit rubbish, and then in the end, I had a professionally made one, and it looked very high end. So you've got to do the work as well. So what does raising your prices actually look like? It's not 450 to 900 overnight. Generally, don't do that, because it will just stop your conversions. You do it in steps: 450, then 550, then 650, then maybe 800, So at each step, watch what happens. If you're still converting 4 out of 10 inquiries, you've still got headroom, keep going. If you're getting multiple inquiries for the same date, you've definitely got room, keep up in those prices. Suddenly, couples are saying things like, we need to talk about it, you're at the top of our budget, we'll get back to you, when they weren't before. Then you've probably found your ceiling for now. But we can build. It doesn't mean that that's where you stay forever. You sort of readjust, you plateau, and you stick at that point for a little while. You build your website, you build your social proof, you get more great quality images, and then we go again. Yeah. So there's something else worth thinking about here, and it's a bit more personal to you. Do you want fewer weddings at a higher price, or do you want more weddings at a moderate price? Because honestly, both work, and it very much depends on your life. So if you're a full-time DJ, you're probably going to want to price yourself a little bit lower so you convert higher, so you're busier and you're getting more bookings in. Whereas if you've got a full-time job that covers everything, and your weekend DJ money is your sort of fun money, like it was for me. I was never a full-time DJ. I was working a full-time job, and then Fridays and Saturdays I dedicated to DJing. So I could up my prices quite high. because it doesn't really matter if I have a weekend off because my prices are high. Great. I'll go out with my missus. I'll spend the weekend with the kids. I'll go and visit family. I'll go out with friends. We'll go on a little trip, or we'll book a concert or something, you know? So if you've got a day job and DJing is your side thing, 2 or 3 weddings a month at 1,200 quid, like it was for me, is brilliant money for an evening's work. If you want to go full time with it, 6 or 7 at 750, it keeps you busy whilst you're building up those reviews and you're building your perceived value. Neither is wrong, but it's all about what works best for you. So try and find that line. So pricing isn't just about the money, it's about what your weekends are worth to you. Because I was working in the week, I was working not long hours, but I was working a full-time job. I was out the house every day, morning till evening. My weekends were pretty valuable. So if people wanted to buy my weekend off me, they had to pay a premium for that. So just bear that in mind. But if I was a single guy and I had nothing really to do, I didn't have any kids or whatever, my weekends would be less valuable to me. So I would probably rather work the Friday, Saturday night every weekend, maybe have one weekend every couple of months off, rather than have, a set weekend every month off like I used to. I used to not take a booking one weekend a month. Doesn't matter what the money was. I kept one free for family stuff. So it's all about you in your life. So the line that you're trying to find, then, it's where does it all leave us? It leaves, there's a line, and here's what it looks like on either side. Too low, you're going to end up attracting people who are just price shopping around for the cheapest possible DJ. You're working loads, you're earning less than you think you're worth, and after a while, you start to resent it. Because I was there in my earlier in my career. Too high, the inquiries dry up, the gaps get longer, you get frustrated, and the temptation is to start slashing your price, and it just makes things worse. So like I said, the right price, it needs to feel like a little stretch for them, but it needs to feel fair for you. And when someone asks what you charge, you just say it. No hesitation, no mumbling, and not being embarrassed by it. If you're embarrassed by saying your price, then it's either you're not confident enough and you don't believe what you're saying, or it is actually too high. Either way, we got to fix something. Either we fix your confidence, or we fix yeah we fix the other thing. So you've genuinely got to believe what you're worth, what you're charging, and that belief is what converts. So pricing is one of those things that feels a lot more complicated than it is. But strip it back, and really, it's just the price. You find the price where you're converting well, at least 4 out of 10, and then you track what's happening and move it up gradually, and then make sure everything else, your brand, communication, your reviews, keep pace with that as well. Don't ever rest on your laurels. Keep building, keep building. Don't guess. Don't just copy what other DJs are charging. Don't price from your ego. Price is data, build it from there, and you grow your income without burning yourself out doing it. And that's it, guys. Basically, that is pricing in a nutshell. I won't go on too much about it because it is a personal thing. But if you've got any comments about what's been said, do drop them below, and I'll do my best to answer every one of them. But I've been Steve D, the Wedded DJ Mentor. Please like and subscribe. That's the only way we keep going. See you on the next one. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.